Hi, I am Ali Nisus, registered nurse and managing director of Nice Us Geriatric Home Care Training and Agency Limited, and this is Return the Favor, a web series giving you tips on how to properly care for your elderly parents. They took good care of you as a child, so now it's time to return the favor. Welcome again to another episode of Return the Favor. This week we'll be speaking about safely turning a person in bed. So, who needs turning in bed? Anyone who may have weakness and weakness so much to the point where they cannot get out of bed, they cannot remove themselves from the bed. Persons with paralysis, persons who are on doctor's orders. The doctor specified, hey, you cannot move. Or post-operative persons who are unable to move. Example, if they had hip surgery, they are unable to get out of bed. So why may you turn a person? Well, it may be to prevent bed sores. So a bed sore is caused by pressure exerted over a bony area for an extended period of time. You see it in persons who are bedridden and who may not have extra cushion on those bony areas such as joints like your elbows, the back of your ears, the back of your head, different parts of the body that have a thin skin over a bony projection. You may have to turn someone to access that part of the body that they're lying down on. So whether it's to change a dressing, whether it's to treat a wound, to assess the skin, maybe to accommodate some sort of treatment on that part of the body. If I'm lying on my right side and I need to treat the right side, I have to turn the person. All right, so let's consider factors with regards to turning. What should we think about when we have to turn someone? And it may, some persons may think, just turn somebody. Let's look at their condition and what they are going through. Look at their perspective and how we can make it better for them. So firstly, though, I usually talk about the elderly person's perspective and making it better for them. Let's first look at your deal in it. Body mechanics. Many persons do a turn, they do manual lifting, they engage in some sort of lifting, and they do not incorporate the proper body mechanics to save their back. Your back is extremely important. So let me give you some tips on how you can properly navigate a manual hold or turning a person. So know your lifting limits. Always assess before you do the actual turn so that if you need help, you can get the help before the turn starts. Sturdy footing. Make sure that the flooring is good, your shoes have proper grip, everything is good before you start the turn, because if you start turning someone and you lose your footing, both of you will fall, and we don't want that. Bend the knees and not the waist. This now would give your quads more control over the turn, and you will save your back. You wouldn't have all the weight going on your back, right? Keep the person's weight close to you, as close as possible. So that would make the weight easier to move if you have to put a little more effort into turning the person. Right? Keep your back, trunk, and feet as aligned as best as possible and avoid twisting. The twisting now can have issues on the back. Don't allow the person to hold your neck whilst doing the turn, because that now would make you unstable. Remember, I asked you to keep the back, trunk, and feet aligned. When they hold their neck, now your neck, they will pull you forward. There can be imbalance, and both of you can fall over. So Let them cross their hands on their chest or hold on to a side rail or something like that, but never allow them to put your hand on your neck. The risk for complications is way too high. All right, so let's look at the actual turn. Turning, you're getting ready to turn your relative. You have something to do for them and you have to turn them. Prepare for the turn first. So know the reason why you are going to turn them, and this is important because you don't want to be inconveniencing them by turning them over and over again. So for instance, you have to bathe them and you say, all right, I'm gonna go and bathe, and you turn them. Oh gosh, I forget the towel. Come back. Oh gosh, I forget the soap. Come back. Oh, I forget this and I forget that. And they are there holding on to the side and they are under real strain. For me and you, it's easy to turn. For them, it's a task. So be very aware of what you want, the purpose of the turn, so that now you can prepare properly. So not to waste a precious turn, because a turn for them may be very, very a lot of energy on their behalf. All right. Get consent. Always ask them, hey, are you ready to turn before you turn them? It may be a shock. You're sleeping and all of a sudden you're feeling somebody pushing you. That's traumatic. Make sure they're up. Make sure they know what is going on. Make sure they consent to being turned so that they will be more cooperative with the whole process. Safety first. Make sure the rails, if there are rails on the bed, make sure the rails are up. Make sure there's something that can block them from rolling off if you go to turn them. So I would definitely prefer you turn them to your side, wherever you're standing, if there are no rails on the bed, so you can protect them from falling off. Use your body mechanics, so that's for your safety. Make sure you properly assess before you turn. So, for instance, some persons, they may have a feeding tube in their nose. You don't want to turn them and yank the tube out. So definitely, before you turn someone, make sure that any tubes that they have, you properly assess and then remove them put it in a place where it won't be pulled. So when you do turn them, put it on the side that they're turning. So when you do turn them, it doesn't yank in the opposite direction. And secure your bed. If they are on a bed that has wheels, lock the wheels and make sure the wheels are not rolling, because when they turn, it's a problem. Always encourage independence. You get self-esteem and self-worth out of that encouraging of independence. So let them do as much as they can and acknowledge achievements. Hey, you're doing a good job. Yeah, man, that's how it is. Good, good. Acknowledge achievements so that they can move forward again and do the help you out later on. You want to maximize the turn. And what do I mean by that? So when you turn someone who is bedridden, remember, they are someone, their joints may be hurting, just a turn may be a chore. So when you have them in that turned position, maximize by assessing that area that they were lying on. So you assess the skin, assess the texture, the color, because you want to see if the texture of the skin, if there's breaking down of the skin. You will know, like water soaked skin, that is not good for skin. And we will cover that on another episode, right? But for this one, texture, you want to look at the color. So you know certain skin looks a little lighter when it's being water soaked. You look at that. Any irregularities, the touch, the feel. If there's broken skin, a wound is starting, a redness, look out for that, right? And you can massage the person one time. Massaging helps with circulation and it helps you feel good. Who doesn't like a good massage? So whilst they're turned, you can give them a good massage on that side. And also the last point on this is give a little ventilation. So put a little breeze, put the fan there, let some air pass by the skin and make them feel good. So let me just go into the actual turn itself and some tips. When you're going to turn a person, prepare the person before the turn. Get consent from them. Ask them first, may I? And only do it if they agree to it. Inform the details of the procedure so they can be more cooperative. Whichever side you are turning the person on. So for instance, I want to turn them to the left. You make sure the limbs on the right cross over to the left so it's easier to turn them there. Keep verbal contact. So are you okay? Anything hurting, just let me know, right? Make sure that you keep verbal contact with them. And if it's a person who is not able to maintain that position, so you turn them and they're not able to maintain that position, you can put a pillow behind their back to keep them in that turned position. Don't forget to subscribe to get more content like this. And if you want more details on the topic for today, check out the blog on our website. Link in the description. Until next time.